How's it going, guys? It's your boy John, back with another video. As you can tell, I got this lovely mic in my hand. It's from Rode. I've recorded a couple of things, mostly like voice audio recording using this mic, and so far it's been fantastic. So I'm just gonna keep this up. And I got something else aside from the mic as well. Don't know if you noticed. If you don't notice, look at me. Look at my eyes. Look into my eyes and tell me you notice something. And the lighting is superb, as the Brits say. Right, aside from that too, I really don't have anything much going on. I think I need to get the mic extension arm thing so that I don't have to keep carrying the mic around like this, because it's pretty heavy. The thing, it's got that solid hefty. It's pretty hefty, and so I don't know. I think I'm gonna get tired over time, but so far, no complaint. And one other thing that you might notice is that wallpaper right there. It's the watch that I bought last couple of weeks back. I made a video about it. It was more of an impulse buy, but I don't regret it. Like I said in the video, no regret. That's how I live my life, you know what I'm saying? I make decisions I don't regret, regardless of how bad it was. Especially this one. Still haven't received it. No updates whatsoever. I think it's a likelihood that $350 down the drain, but I wrote them an email today asking if there's any updates, so fingers crossed. That's basically the update that I want to give you guys before I jump into today's topic, which is identity. Dun dun dun. So, well, it all started out with me noticing myself, with my habit. I have this habit of telling people that I suck at mathematics. Whenever I'm asked to do like a quick calculation, like on the spot, I'll be like, I don't know, I suck at math. And I would use a calculator, or if I use a calculator, I come up with the wrong answer. I would just be like, oh, what can I do? I'm just bad at math, right? And I think I've been doing that long enough. When I say long enough, I think it's over. It's close to 10 years now, since high school, that it became almost like my go-to line. Like it's a habit, It's like something that I fall back onto to pretend like, oh, it's part of me. And I think I notice it's a bad thing to do. It's a bad habit, first off. And so I started noticing that. Initially, I didn't really do anything about it until like a couple of months back. I told myself, like, no more, right? My producer's looking at me again. And also because of the book that I read, it's Atomic Habits by James Clear, and in the book he wrote something along the line of like how habits play a big role in our lives and in forming identity, and how we present to other people, and how important habits are. Stop looking at me. So, okay, I'm gonna give you an example that he gave in the book. I think I'm just gonna paraphrase. It's more of like, when you work out, you're identifying as yourself as someone who work out every single day. It's like a habit that you pick up, right? And you over time you start to identify that as your as you like you are someone who work out every day, therefore you're healthy, you're fit, and how like the kind of tiny little habits play like play a big role in forming identity in our lives. And I was like, which got me thinking, about my excuse for being bad at math. Like it's my fault that I'm not good with calculation and all of that, right? But it's also my responsibility to correct that if I don't want to be identified as such, right? So I because here's the thing, right? I keep telling people like, oh look, man, I'm like now I'm bad at maths, but like back in high school, I used to be really good at it because which is true because I got a distinction for mathematics in the final exam in high school. Stop doubting me. No, I'm kidding. Right, so and the reason that I was so good at like math and all of that. I was good at math, physics, biology, English because I study those subjects like every single day. Like when I was in high school, um, during like lunch break, snack break, or whatever break that I had, like any free time that I was trying to solve like some math problems and stuff like that. I was trying to read more in high school, read whatever that I could. I was, I was just constantly trying to improve my ability because I wanted to pass, not because I wanted to be like considered, you know, like the best student in the class or anything like that. Even though it was more of like a bonus, but it's heavy. I'm gonna switch hands. But the point being that I did all of that in high school, so I was really good at it. But after high school, I just I kind of lost touch, right? And for like a couple of years, I didn't do any mathematics, no calculation, addition, subtraction, whatever it is, right? And without any practice, I just lost it, right? But that's like 10 years ago. Here I am now. I can't like I can't do math as good as well as I used to be able to. But that doesn't mean that I'm bad at math. Like I might be bad at math. Like when it comes to doing like I don't know multiplication of like big numbers. And sometimes I would carelessly do the easy maths, and I would just tell my colleagues like offhand. I'll be like, "What's 6 times 2?" No, that's too easy. What's I don't know. What's 7 times 8? Like if you ask me that now, I can be like, I don't know, right? But sometimes I would just come up with a random number just to make light of the situation or something like that, and then I think a lot of factors came to play, and people started looking at me like he can't do math, like or sometimes I don't have the confidence uh, to do the math. Like I have the confidence to do the math, but I don't have the confidence to use the answer that I have, and then like proceed with whatever that I have to do. Like since I'm a woodworker, sometimes I have to come up with like measurements for certain projects, and I would go like I would approach my boss. I'll be like, hey, look, can you just look at my math if it's correct? And I did that when I started working, and he was like, yo, dude, you got what is this, man? Right? So, and it was because I back then I had no confidence whatsoever in myself. I was just like I no, I used calculator. I used calculator and everything, and I was like, I drew out everything on a template. I drew it out. I was like, hey, look, before I cut, can you just take a look whether this is legit or not? And then I kind of left him speechless, and I deserve that, right? But all of that all of that came to play as like, yo, John is bad at math. But then, right now, I'm trying to break that image or that identity. I don't want to live in that identity. Right? I don't want people to keep saying, "Oh, like he's bad at math." Like, okay, I might have been bad at math, but like no longer. So right now, I'm putting an effort to not like try to learn math from scratch because you don't have to, right? But everyday mathematics are more simple, and I'm just trying to like take my time and be a bit more confident with what I do. So like with more confidence that you have, like the more um, comfortable you are with yourself, and then over time, with enough practice, it becomes a habit, and then eventually it becomes like your identity, something that you like represent yourself with. Yeah. So that's a long-winded way of saying I don't want people to tell me that I'm bad at math anymore. Like anytime someone would say that to me now, like my colleagues, I'll be like, "Yo, stop, stop saying that. Don't say that no more." So basically, what I'm trying to say is, I don't, I don't want to be associated with identity like John is bad at math anymore. And I'm trying to stray away from that, trying to improve my ability to do maths, like to learn whatever that I can to not be kind of, you know, put in the box and have people tell me that I'm this and I'm that, because I am what I want people to. The way I look at it, I am what I want people to to look at me as. I don't know if it makes sense. Basically, I have full control over my identity. That's what I'm trying to say. And um, I became really sensitive regards to that topic. Like whenever someone's trying to, it's not just about me. Like even when it came to about someone else, when they start saying things like, "Oh, this person is like this, so what do you expect?" And I just don't like it. I don't, and I would always try to interject. I would always try to come to whoever is the fans, and I would be like, "Hey, look, I don't think that's a good thing to do." Like, because you're basically assigning a false, or quote unquote a false identity to someone else behind their back, and it's just not a fair thing to do. And okay, I'm gonna give you an example. By giving you by this example, I might I might be putting my sister under the bus, but anyway, so it's about my sister, my middle sister, and my mom. So I had this conversation with my mom like last month, like probably in November or December. I can't remember, but it was basically about some money problems. Not really a problem. It's just how there was a miscommunication and misunderstanding between my mom and my sister. And then my mom was telling me about this incident that she had with my sister. And she was like, "Oh yeah, your sister's like this. You know how your sister is. Like she doesn't like it when we try to give her like when we try to criticize her about something or give her feedback, and like so that's how she is. Like she doesn't like it. So like what's the point of like telling her this and that?" And I was like, sounds pretty similar to what I was trying to preach to people. So I was like, let me preach to my mom real quick. I was like, "Mom, did you ever think that maybe our sister's like this because you and our eldest sister, like you and your elder daughter, okay? I don't know. You okay? You and my sister are treating our middle sister like she's a child. Like you guys are not talking to her. You guys are not trying to get the message across. Like I get it, right? Sometimes I've experienced it myself. I used to live with my sister for many years, right? Sometimes we can't communicate. But it was because, like, over time I realized it was because, I was short temper. And I didn't want to listen to adults. I was rebellious, and I didn't want to take into consideration whatever that they might be suggesting to me. So that was my fault. So I came to, you know, I came to terms with my own faults at the time. So I was telling my mom, like, look, maybe you guys are treating her unfairly. You know, you guys are no, you guys are assigning her this wrong identity of someone who is what was that, determined, who's always objecting, you know, who's not willing to take criticisms or something like that, right? So yeah, I told my mom, like, hey, look, maybe you guys, you need to um, consider the fact that maybe it's you. Like, you need to talk to her better. So you need to say things in a way, or like you need to give feedback to my sister in a way that's more, that would be more receptive to her ears or something like that, right? So, and for the first time, no, not really for the first time, I noticed like my mom go, right. And then she started praising me for being like emotionally mature, and I was like, "Oh, mom, thanks, mom." She actually said that. She was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to your sister, and see if there's you know anything that we can do to not have that in the future, something along those lines." And I realized it's something that a lot of people struggle with. Most people don't notice that they do that on a regular basis, like every single day. Like whether it's with your parents, with your friends, with your loved one, because we like to brush it off as something trivial, something very minor, right? Like you're talking to your partner, and then they say something that you don't like, or something that annoys you somehow, but you don't say it out loud. You don't you don't express it like on the spot for whatever reason. for for whatever reason, right? And and like at the start, it's just a very minor issue, right? But over time, like let's say months or years down the road, that little minor problem is going to become a major problem if you don't address it on the spot. So you gotta get clarity on whatever issues, or whatever, it's not even an issue, whatever it is that you have, right? So you, and if that turned into a major problem, who really is responsible? It's you, right? Because you didn't take the time or the effort to address it right when it happened. So if it continue happening, who's really here to blame? I'm not pointing fingers because my fingers pointed right at the screen, so it could be anyone watching the video. um yeah, but that's what I wanted to talk about, because it's been on my head for so long, and every time I could never bring myself to collect the thought. I've tried writing it down on the book, didn't help. Like it's everywhere in my head, and I tried writing it down in my phone on my way to work, didn't help. Like I keep losing my train of thoughts. So which is why, like, every time I just sit down, I just start talking, and then sometimes it just flows naturally, which I really like. But other time I just start talking about something else, and then I would end the video very quickly. But right now I notice the video is running into like 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna cut it in a little while. Before I go, just want to give you guys a better look at the watch. The watch is really cool. It's a sing. I did a little bit of digging into the company's background. It's apparently a Singapore-based company. It's called Boulder, Boldr. If you guys are interested, I ordered this specific one. I might have like made some mistakes with my pre-order. Apparently, the button that I click and pay for is a pre-order. So basically, I order something that I'm not gonna get like anytime soon. Probably in like a month or two from now. But yeah, they have really cool watches. If you guys are in Singapore, if you want to support the local brand, check it out. I spent $300 something on this. I can't wait to put it on my wrist. My wrist is very lonely. But then again, I haven't worn any watches in like so many years. And I'm planning to make sort of like an unboxing video and a review when I get it. So maybe if you guys want to see that, just let me know. What do you think? You want it? You want to see that on my watch? I mean, on my wrist? Yes, thumbs up. So I think I'm just going to call it. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. See ya.